So what is the difference?
So it's
Before starting
controller means
yeah.
um, so in a chip if we already we have programmed something is known as processor, sir.
Okay.
And the controller is something the program device is able to run that program is known as microcontroller, sir.
The controller. So I will tell so microcontroller, microprocessor. You are using the computer, desktop computer. In that CPU will be there. Inside the CPU, what are the components is there? Can you tell? Inside the CPU, what are the components?
Microcontroller, microprocessor, all these things are there, sir.
Everything available. So you will tell, right, I want this configuration. So inside the CPU, those configurations are there. So what is the configuration, your configuration? Can you tell your laptop configuration? Tell you're having laptop, na?
No, sir.
Hmm?
No, sir.
No. So you know, you have an idea, right? Okay, tell about
Yes,
your
sir.
mobile configuration. How you selected the mobile based upon what specification you seen?
About Snapdragon processor, RAM, ROM,
Snapdragon processor, and then
RAM, ROM.
RAM and ROM. How much RAM? How much ROM? So these are the things you are looking right inside that.
Yes,
So in a
yes, sir.
computer, similarly, we having a processor, i3 processor, i5 processor. I'm selecting, and
Yes, sir.
the RAM will be there. Either it is 2 GB or 4 GB, and internal hard disk. So how
Yes, sir.
much a hard disk is available? Likewise, I'm checking everything. So if you see the CPU inside, the processor is separate, the memory is separate, the RAM is separate, and the ROM is separate, and the hard disk is separated. Everything is splitted, so it is not
Yes, sir.
combined. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So processor means it will do the processing only. So if you give a program, it will do.
Okay.
It does not have the memory, and as well as it does not have the interfacing the peripheral devices. If you go for the microcontroller having the processing element as well as along with the memories. So memories will be the ROM, RAM, and EEPROM, EEPROM. So everything will be available inside the IC itself. Within a
Okay.
one IC, everything will be inbuilt. So that is a microcontroller. So microcontroller also they used to tell it's a mini computer or mini CPU. Okay. So if you go for the
Okay, sir.
processor, I will use it for large applications like computers and huge devices which is using in industry purpose. So which is automated, everything automated. So there I will use the processor. But
Okay, sir.
microcontroller is meant for a small device like AC,
Okay,
TV,
sir.
and fridge, washing machine. So there you can find a microcontroller which having a limited
Okay.
memory only. Why? Because we can't able to replace. But if you go for processor, I can change whether 2 GB or 4 GB. I will change. Why? Because it is available externally. So it is linked
Okay,
with
sir.
buses. So that is the thing.
Okay, sir.
So here for the first question, so CPU as integrated memory or peripheral interface means microcontroller. So that is the correct
Okay,
answer.
okay,
Okay.
sir.
Next question. Um, is it Balganesh?
Sir,
Yeah. So study the second question and try to find the answer.
same, sir. Spelling, question,
I didn't get you, ma.
sir. Question change our sir.
It didn't change. Yeah. I think it's changed.
CAS, sir. Hello.
I changed to second question. Can you able to see the PPT?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What
Yeah.
is CAS? That's only answer.
Which of the following offers? That is the question.
No, one time, sir. Yes, yes, sir. Which of the okay, sir? Which of the following offer CPU? Other
CPU.
sir.
Which of the following offers external chip for memory and peripheral interface? I think still you are studying that. It's not changed, huh?
That's no
For
changes.
everyone? For everyone, the second question is changed or not?
No, sir, it's changed for me, sir.
I think network issues. So
Sir,
shall I study the question?
no changes, yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Study the question once.
Which of the following offer expansion chips for memory and peripheral interface for circuits?
Which one? Just now I told.
So,
Which one? Microcontroller or microprocessor or a peripheral system or embedded system?
sir, microcontroller, sir.
Microcontroller. Microcontroller offers the external chip for memory and peripheral interface. Just now I told, so microprocessor only doesn't have internal memory and it can't able to connect the peripheral devices directly. But microcontroller, everything is inbuilt in a chip, single chip. It's having the memory, it is having the peripheral control interfacing devices, everything is available within a single IC. If you go through that, the motherboard of the CPU, processor will be in one place. I want to place, and I want to connect the RAM using the slots. I will connect the external hard disk using the buses. So those are separated. So it is not inside the chip. Okay. So the microprocessor only offers the external chip for memory as well as for peripheral interface circuit also. Okay. The answer is microprocessor here. And third question, I will ask for Eddie Larison. Eddie Larison, you there?
சார் சொல்லுங்க சார் சொல்லுங்க சார்
Study the question and answer me.
ஹலோ
Hello. Yeah,
Hello.
audible. I can hear you. Go through the third question.
கேட்கல சார்
Eddie Larison, can you hear me?
ஹலோ சார் சார் தேர்ட் கொஸ்டின் இப்பதான் சார் கேக்குது நீங்க கேட்கல டாக்ஸ் இந்த போட்டிருக்கீங்க வாட் இஸ் ஆன்சர் வந்து பி சார் காம்ப்ளெக்ஸ் இன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன் செட் கம்ப்யூட்டிங்
Okay. So another is there. Do you know? This is risk one. Another is a risk one. What is a risk one?
சார்
RISC. This is CISC. So complex instruction set computing. One more is there. RISC, RISC processor. Do you know that processor?
சார் நீங்க பேசுறதே கேட்கல சார்
Okay, ma. So you told the correct answer only. So CISC is nothing but complex instruction set computing. And another
Sir,
processor
அது
is
வந்து
there, that is
reduced instruction, sir.
yeah, reduced instruction set. So complex instruction sets, for example, I want to do addition. For example, I will write for 2 or 3 lines of the program. If you go for the reduced instruction set, it will be available in a single program. Okay, so that is the difference between the CISC and RISC. In some application, I will use the CISC processor. In some application, I will use the RISC processor, reduced instruction set. Okay. Okay. So and next is Hariharan. This question is for you. Study the question and answer me.
It retains its content when power is removed. What type of memory is this?
Yeah. So which memory doesn't lose its data? So when the power is removed. So that is what this question means. So that is a volatile or non-volatile or RAM or SRAM. So even the power goes off, the memory will stay. Which one is?
RAM, sir.
RAM. So are you storing? RAM is used for what, ma? Whether in order to run the operating system, or in order to run, I mean, in order to store the medias like videos in your computer, you're having a RAM. So
Yes,
whether
sir.
is RAM used for what purpose?
Sir, for the connecting only, sir, not for storing, sir. Storing.
Connecting, loading the program for operating system. So you are displaying, right? So if you once you switch on the computer, it will show first logo, and afterwards
logo,
it will
Windows.
show after it will show the desktop. So everything will be stored in the RAM only.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so
The
once you
phone
switch it
also
off,
like that only, sir.
so this is a RAM doesn't store anything. So as long as power is there, it will store. Once power goes off, it will off. So what is the correct answer then? ROM here, ROM is not available.
Yes,
ROM
sir.
option is
ROM
ROM
option.
option is not available, right?
Yes, sir.
ROM is correct, but here ROM option is not available. And check the remaining options.
Volatile memory, non-volatile memory, SRAM.
Is volatile? What is non-volatile?
Sir,
So the correct answer is A or B.
sir, non-volatiles.
Non-volatile. So volatile means erasable. Non-volatile means it doesn't erase. So thing
Yes,
is, if you are using the AC, if you switch it on,
Sir, non-volatile is correct, sir.
Yeah, non-volatile is correct.
Okay, sir.
Correct answer. And suppose non-volatile means I will write the program once into that ROM. Okay. So once you return, it doesn't erase. So if you, for an example, AC, if you switch on, it will check the temperature. It will display the temperature always, right? So default program will be there. So it doesn't erase. And next is this question is Maheshwaran.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this question is for you.
Sir.
This question is for you, ma. Study the question and tell me the answer.
Name a volatile memory, sir. Volatile memory, no.
Just now I explained everything. Just now I explained that. Volatile means erasable. Once the power goes off, the data will be erased. Whether it is a RAM or a EPROM or ROM or EEPROM.
புரியலையே சார் RAM தானே சார்
Volatile means erasable memory. So if power goes off, the data will be vanished. So which type of memory, whether it is a RAM or ROM or EPROM or EEPROM?
Sir.
Yeah. What is the answer?
RAM.
What is the answer? RAM. Yeah, RAM is the correct answer. Okay. So next question.
Next question. Enaka, sir?
No. For next one, I will call you. You can unmute, ma. Sorry,
Yeah,
you can
okay.
mute. So this is easy only. Next question is for Mohammed Najim.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is yours. This question is yours. Go through the question and tell me the answer.
Name a non-volatile memory. ROM, sir.
So ROM is the correct answer. Okay, good. Next question is for Naveen B. Naveen B.
Sir,
Yeah. Go to the question.
sir, nothing is seen, sir.
Nothing is visible.
No, sir. எனக்கு கட்டாய் போகுது சார். திரும்ப உள்ள வந்துட்டு இருக்கேன்.
Sure. Okay. Shall I study the question? Can you answer?
Yes. Sir,
Okay.
yes,
So
sir.
here the question is, which one of the following is UV erasable? So which one of the following is UV erasable? So option A is flash memory, option B SRAM, option C EPROM, option D DRAM. So again I will repeat. So question is, which one of the following is UV erasable? And option A flash memory, option B SRAM, option C EPROM, option D DRAM. So what is the correct answer?
EPROM, sir.
EPROM, huh? No, what you're telling, whether it's A or B or C or D.
C, sir.
So C. So EPROM is the correct answer, ma. Good. So UV erasable. So in a EPROM, we can able to erase using the ultraviolet rays only. If you go for a EEPROM, so
Yes,
that
sir.
there I will use the electrical. But one in EEPROM only I will use ultraviolet light
Yes.
not to do the erase the data.
Yes, sir.
And as well as if you see the ICs also, the memory IC, it may have a glass on top of the chip. So why? Because the UV has to pass inside, then only it will be able to, you can able to erase the memory. So they, you can able to see if you just Google it, UV erasable memories, ICs and that, so that you can able to see the IC structure, how it will be available. Thank you. And next is Naveen
Okay, sir.
Anand. Naveen Anand. Yeah. Study the question.
Sir. Yeah. How a embedded system communicate with outside world?
Mm.
Sir, hello.
Yeah. Question is
Sir.
correct and answer is
Option A, peripheral.
option A is answer.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Why can't it not be a input or why can't it not be output? So peripheral is the right answer. Good. So embedded system can able to communicate using the peripheral devices only. So if you purchasing the computer desktops, the peripheral device is nothing but the input, is nothing but the mouses and the keyboards, the monitors. So those are nothing but, so what are the things you are connecting externally? So those are nothing but the peripheral devices. So using that only, the CPU can able to communicate. Okay.
Okay,
Including that the network port also, the network ports, the USB port, the Bluetooth speakers, and etc. So what are the things? Okay. Next question is for Nirmal Kumar.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Go through the question.
How the input terminals are associated with external environment.
Yeah. Actually, this is while explaining about one of the example I told about this. Did you remember?
Mm.
How the input terminals are associated with external environment. Sensors, correct answer. So if you use a mobile, so mobile having a lot of sensors. So the input is taking using the sensors only. Even if the mouse also having the laser sensor, so that based upon the movement, it will give as a input. And anyone, all of you, can you able to tell what are the sensors you know? All of you.
Normally, a phone, sir.
Normally, always there will be a sensors. If you want to capture, I want to capture the temperature, I require the sensor. So temperature is nothing but an input. If I want to calculate the sound, so how much noise level is there? So I need a sensor. So mic is nothing but a sensor. If I want to take a picture, so camera is there, camera inside, the lens will be there, and it will capture the light. So that is a light capturing sensor will be there inside the camera. So everything is nothing but sensor only. Okay. Even you having the mobile touch, So while you're touching your mobile, so the capacitive touch will be there, right? So that will detect your touch and which location. So for that also we require the sensor, and proximity sensor is there, which is available in your phone. So these are the sensors which we are acquiring the external environment. So in order to get any data from the external environment, we require the sensors only. Okay, so correct answer is sensors. Next, Pradeep.
Sir,
Yeah, so this is your
which
question.
of the following, which of the following memories has a more speed accessing data?
Which
Static,
one?
dynamic RAM, static RAM, sir.
Static RAM always very faster when compared to the remaining. So
RAM.
RAM actually when compared to the ROM and RAM, so RAM is very faster when compared to the ROM. Okay, so then only you can able to load the OS. So OS will works very faster. If it is not loaded properly, in the sense it will get hang. So even I will wait for, suppose you are copying a movie, right? You are copying a movie. If you want to copy a 1 GB of movie, I will wait for 5 minutes. But I want to run the OS properly without any delay, right? So for that only we prefer the RAM. In the RAM we having some types. So SRAM will be there, DRAM will be there. So DRAM is slower when compared to SRAM. Why? Because DRAM consists of one transistor and capacitor. So capacitor takes some times to charge and recharge. So continuously we need to refresh the capacitor in order to maintain the voltage. So it takes a lot of power consumption as well as it is very slower. But if you go for the SRAM, so it is consist of transistor only. It's very faster. Okay, so the correct answer is SRAM. Good one. And next is question is for Pratik Kumar. Pratik Kumar. Pratik Kumar.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is yours question.
What is the purpose of address bus?
Right. So what's the purpose of address bus? Whether it is for provide the data, or to select a specific chip, or to select a location within a memory, or select to read and write cycle.
So C, location within a memory.
Yeah, so that is a correct answer. Good. So address bus is always used to locate the memory location. So I will send the address of the particular location not to access the data. Okay, so that address can be carried using the address bus. So the answer is to select a location within the memory chip. Correct now. And next is Purushothaman. He is on hold always. Purushothaman, are you there? It's showing you are on call, it seems. Purushothaman. Veerabhadran. Veerabhadran. Venkatesan.
Sir,
Yeah, Veerabhadran. Can you able to see the question?
there is sir.
Yeah. Study the question and tell the answer.
It's true for a cache memory. Which statement is true for a cache memory?
Okay. What is the answer? Go through the options and tell me the answers.
சார்
Yeah.
வெங்கடேசன் சார் இப்போ எனக்கு கேளுங்க சார் கொஸ்டின்.
Wait, ma. Veerabhadran is.
அவனை கம்ப்ளீட் பண்ணிட்டு கேளுங்க சார்.
Yeah, yeah.
Sir,
Veerabhadran.
Purushothaman here, sir.
Purushothaman, wait.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Veerabhadran, you there?
Sir,
Yeah. Tell me the answer.
C, sir.
The answer. Okay. How you are telling it's a C?
Sir.
Okay, so which statement is true for the cache memory is? So actually, cache memory is used to for speed up the operation, not to store the data, not to access the memory. Why? Because so memory, for example, RAM having 4 GB in the sense, you have to store the data, it has to verify from top to bottom. So from 0 to up to 4 GB, I want to verify. So which location is free? Instead of that, the cache memory will be the additional memory location. It will store the details of that memory. So the main memory. It will store the details of the main memory. So through accessing the cache memory, I can able to access the main memory. So for example, I will tell book. So book is having an index, content is there. Okay, in an index, I can able to easily identify the topic which is available in which page number. So instead of searching from first chapter 1, chapter 2, and go on, so on, I can able to use the index page not to access fastly. So similarly, for the main memory, not to access very fastly, I need a cache memory. Okay, so that is the answer. Correct answer is very high speed memory to increase the speed of the processor. Okay. Next is Purushothaman. Purushothaman. Okay, Venkatesan. Venkatesan.
Sir, yes sir, tell me sir.
Yeah. So go through the question and tell me the answer.
What is it?
You are outside. I'm getting a lot of traffic noise.
Sir, logical address option.
What is the logical address?
Sir, page vehicle sir.
Are you outside?
Sir, வீட்ல தான் சார் இருக்கேன். அது பால்கனில லான்ல இருக்கேன்.
The question is which of the following address is seen by the memory unit? So physical address. So physical address is nothing but the exact location. Do you remember calculating the physical address? So in your microcontroller, so if you want to calculate the physical address, I will use the offset address along with that segment address. So I will add together. Did you remember that one? The two addresses will be added. So finally, I will find the physical address. So those two addresses are nothing but the offset address. One is offset address, another is segment address. Okay. So the answer is correct answer, physical address. And next, Purushothaman, are you there? Purushottama. Purushothaman. Arun is always outside.
சார் புருஷோத்தமனுக்கு நெட்வொர்க் ப்ராப்ளம் சார், அவனுக்கு கேட்கவே மாட்டேங்கிறான் சார். டெக்ஸ்ட் பண்ணி விட்டுருந்தான் சார் இப்பதான்.
You can text in here itself, right? Team. And Jai Surya, you joined late, it seems. Jai Surya, unmute your mic.
Sir, Jai Surya present, sir.
You joined late, huh?
Yes, sir. Network problems. Already உள்ள வந்தேன் ஒரு வாட்டி அப்புறம் கனெக்ட் ஆகி வெளில போயிடுச்சு சார்.
Okay, go through this question and tell me the answer. Study the question. Study the question once. Study the question little bit louder. Jai Surya, you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. This is your question. Study the question and tell me the answer.
Sir. Sir, parallel port, sir.
Study the question first.
Communicating between other days.
No, louder. Study louder. I want to hear.
Which of the following is the inefficient method of communicating between other devices? Serial port, parallel port. Answer சொல்லுமா sir?
Now tell me the answer.
Parallel port, sir.
Parallel port. Pin efficient. Pin efficient means less number of pin. So serial port and parallel port. What is the difference? Serial communication and parallel communication. What is the difference between serial communication and parallel communication? Serial communication example I will tell USB. Yeah.
Serial communicate பண்ணுவாங்க சார். தெரியல சார் clear-ஆ.
Serial communicate பண்ணும். So serial communication I will send one by one. So I required minimum number of buses. So for an example, USB. So USB, how many lines are there actually? Actually, in a USB, if you see the USB port, you can able to see the 4 lines. One is for positive, one is for positive 5 volt, another is for ground, and remaining 2 is do the communication, transmitting and receiving. So D plus D minus, so data plus data minus will be there. So the thing is, for serial communication, I require the less number of buses because I'm going to send one by one the bit. If I go for parallel communication, suppose I want to transfer 8-bit data, I require 8 LANs. So if I transfer 16-bit data, I require 16 lines. Okay, so the bus is very, I mean, the number of buses will be high as well as the pins will be very high. Okay, so pin efficient means I will go for the serial bus only. So correct answer is a serial port. Okay. And,
Sir, ask me, sir.
Purushotama, yeah. Now it's your question. Study the question and tell me the answer.
Which of the following is the most known simple interface?
Yeah, who is this? Okay, Purushottam, tell me which of the following is the most known simple interface?
As let me think, two instruments. I2C, serial port, parallel ports, by.
Which one? What is the correct answer then?
Wait.
So I square C is a simple interface. So what is I square C? What is I square C? What is I square C?
Sir, I square C, sir. Inter.
So integrated circuit. I square C is integrated circuit. That is the simplest interfacing device. I mean, interfacing bus.
Question is simple interface, sir. Simple.
Yeah, simple interface. Simple interface. Okay. So I think everyone completed, everyone participated.
I square, I think.
Yeah. Correct, ma. I square is the correct answer. So, did anyone missed? All of you participated. Yeah. So remaining, we will discuss now itself. So which of the following provides an efficient method for transferring data from a peripheral to memory? Can anyone know this answer? Which of the following provides an
Parallel, sir.
Yeah.
Parallel, sir.
Which of the following provides an efficient method for transferring data from peripheral to memory? So DMA controller. So what is the purpose of DMA controller? Without disturbing, without interfacing with the CPU, I will do the transfer between the memory to the peripheral devices. So that is the efficient method. So DMA controller is the correct answer. And next is, so which of the following is used to request the bus from the main CPU? I think yesterday I discussed about the bus request, right? So bus requester is used to request the bus to the CPU so that it can able to use it for transmission and reception purpose. So yesterday in RS-232, we seen about the bus request. Okay, so in our and as well as in a DMA controller also we seen the bus request. So bus requester is the used for to send a signal. So in order to use the bus, so that's why it is representing the by so bus requester. Okay. And next is which of the following can be used for long distance communication? So for long distance communication, I square C I cannot use. So why? Because it is connecting the ICs which is available in a single board. So board will be not actually inside the board is not a long distance communication. And as well as if you go for the parallel port, so parallel port means I required a huge number of lines, a huge number of buses. So the cost will be very high. So I won't prefer, I mean, nobody will prefer the parallel port communication not to do the transmission for long distance. And second is serial port interfacing. That also not I want to use. So only option is RS-232. So yesterday I told RS-232 and RS-422. RS-232 used for communication up to 1 or 2 meters. And if you go RS-422, it will used for I think more than 120 meters, I think so. Okay, so RS-232 will be used for long distance communication. Even the mouse, the keyboard. So previously they used RS-232 communication protocol one. Okay. This is, I think someone is talking. I can't able to hear properly. That is noise or something. If you can't able to talk in the sense that you having network issue, post in the chat box. Because I am hearing noise only. And next is so which of the following can provide hardware handshaking? So what is a hardware handshaking? It's nothing but interface. Okay. So RS-232 is used for handshaking. So there you can able to see request to send, clear to send signals are available. So those are used for handshaking purpose. So handshaking in the sense just not simply if you plug in it will communicate. So first it will send the signal, okay, I am ready. And are you ready not to transfer the data? I am ready to receive the data. So these are the signals which will send from one device to another device. So this is nothing but a handshake. So making a communication initially, after that only it will transfer and receive the data. Okay, so that will be provided by RS-232. Next, what is the UART? So UART stands for anyone?
Universal asynchronous receiver transmitter.
Yeah, so universal asynchronous receiver transmitter, UART. So this is mostly nowadays we are using the UART protocol. So not a synchronous one, asynchronous receiver and transmitter ports we are using. Okay. Up to this, I think it's the end of the slide.